Well, if you want to see some mediocre photography taken by a mediocre photographer, then you've come to the right place. I know that Easter was probably about a month ago by the time I get around to editing this video, but let us celebrate the return of our Lord, or the return of Cadbury's mini eggs, by spending a weekend with this, the Olympus XA2. Well, I've shot with this camera a few times now and they've all had different results. Some I'm really happy with, some I haven't, so I thought I'd give it another try. But ultimately, given the size of this thing, for a weekend away and only taking one bag, it was the most convenient option. Anyway, with camera in bag and a roll of Fuji C200 film, we set off down to the Cornish coast. Now, no good story has started with a bag of salad. So the first stop was straight to the local brewery. This is the Sharp's tap room just outside of the town of Polzeath. They have this really cool wall with every beer they've made on it, and they also have this cool photo booth that was there. I'm not sure if it was there for a limited time, but it was still a good visit nonetheless. So once we had stocked up on enough kegs for a few days and also managed to get our hands on a few freebies, I loaded up the roll of Fuji C200 on the Olympus XA2. So why'd I switch it up? Why'd I finally move away from Kodak? Well, for me, I guess this Fuji C200 is, much like my photography, pretty bang average. Many people view this stock as Fuji's competitor to Gold 200, and I'd totally agree. Both are budget stocks and both are widely available, two things of which are becoming increasingly hard to come by. Fujicolor C200, or just C200, or Fujicolor 200, as it's known in various different regions, is known as a fairly saturated stock, but also can be quite flat. But being a 200 ISO film and being color negative, it also has a lot of latitude, so it's pretty good for all exposure situations, including a inconsistent point and shoot such as this Olympus XA2, which I'm pretty sure has a dodgy light meter. Anyway, once my fumbling hands managed to actually get the roll in this camera, we set off down into the village. I like this first shot. It's definitely one of the best from the overcast day. And oh boy, does it have a lot of grain. So if you like that highly grain textured look, then this one could definitely be for you. Now, one of the first things I noticed when getting all my scans back were this stock is very brown. I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably didn't help that in usual British bank holiday fashion the weather was awful, but the point still stands. It's definitely a stock with some dark shadows and overcast conditions, which, you know, could have been a factor from, again, this being a point and shoot. But there definitely seemed to be some muddy browns and a lot of detail was lost in the shadows. After getting some damp sand in my shoe, we headed up to the headland to try and see if we could gain some more inspiration. But then it happened. I decided to commit a sin and I pulled out my phone camera. I know, I'm sorry. I'm disappointed in me too. You clicked on this video thinking it was going to be an entire video full of just film photography, but no, here we are, a few shots taken on a digital camera. Anyway, I think they're some of the nicest shots of the trip, so I hope that makes up for it, and I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me one day.
fucking idiot.
The next day, the British weather decided to throw a curveball and show us some good sun. So with that, we grabbed the surfboards and headed out for a day on the beach. After finding out how it feels to be clothes in a washing machine due to my complete inability to surf, and then channeling my inner Joe Root for a round of plastic cricket, we headed back into town for some dinner, and we were finally blessed with some golden hour light for our final evening here. After driving back late that evening and then spending Easter Sunday rotting in bed with enough chocolate to make it look like I'd committed a heist on Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, we decided to enjoy our Easter Monday in the lovely town of Cheddar in Somerset. Cheddar is a lovely village. It's known for its gorge, caves, and, well, cheese. So if you're lactose intolerant, I probably wouldn't recommend coming here. Having made Jasmine climb up the gorge, which must have been for her like climbing Everest, we decided to head into this little pet store that we found. As you can see, she was very excited to know that she can do nothing all day, sleep all day, get fed, not pay any taxes, and still have a good life. It must be nice. After the banker mum and dad had spent more money on treats, it was time to head out and take some more photos. I'm happy with this photo here. It's probably the best of the day. The person in the background's a bit of a distraction, but I guess you can't win them all. After we had finished walking up the gorge, we decided that we were going to go check that our water supply was still in good shape, and we checked out the local reservoir. It does sound a bit dull, I know, but I know there was good potential for some shots here. Well, there's the money shot. I'm not sure why I rate this so highly compared to the other shots of the day. I think it's probably the way the shot is composed. I like the way that the red sail really pokes out here, and the bird in the corner just really completes this frame. Well, that was it. I think this trip really solidified my opinions of the XA2. I've absolutely loved having this by my side. I've been able to just let it kind of dangle by my hand and just quickly pick it up and take a shot whenever I felt there was a composition worth taking. It's been completely unobtrusive and it's just been easy to carry around. I've had it in my bag, I've had it in my pocket. So it does make a perfect travel camera. However, the pitfalls continue to remain that the zone focusing system on this camera is just annoying. There was at least 4 shots here that, due to the fact that every time you set the focus and close the shell, it resets, that meant that these shots are just out of focus and completely unusable. I also found that some of the more close-up shots, such as the shot of the pizza, using the different close-up focusing settings, they didn't really seem to work all the time, and sometimes it would miss focus, whereas other times it would get things in focus that I didn't want. Either way, it's a great camera, and quite frankly, it could just be user error. But this does make me realize why people go for the original XA over the XA2. It just has more versatility, and in honesty, being a true rangefinder, it does just mean that you won't have as many wasted frames. I also really like this Fuji Color 200 or Fuji C200 on wherever you are. In good lighting, when it has the exposure correct, it's a great stock. And I'd like to try it on a better camera that could yield better results. I love the way it renders the blue skies, and I love the greens and the colors you get from it. However, sometimes the browns are just a bit too muddy for me. Overall, I think these 3 shots summarize what I'm trying to say, and are definitely at least website shots, potentially portfolio shots. Let me know what you think. Have you ever used the Olympus XA series? Have you used the XA2? And what have your experiences been with it? Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and order a ton of film for a week-long trip to Germany I'm about to go on, so be sure to look out for that soon. Until then, see ya.